Hello and welcome to Cronkite Sports Live on location. We're here in Tempe on the eve of ASU's first round matchup in the NCAA tournament. I'm Zach Pocklip, and alongside me is Elaine Wilson. And Elaine, what month is it?
Well, last I checked on my calendar, I believe it's March.
That means a lot of things, but that means more than anything, a bunch of madness and a bunch of teams vying for their one shining moment.
And ASU is vying for their one shining moment here in the tournament. Let's flash back to March 27th of last year. ASU was facing Florida State in the Sweet 16, a loss by 1 point, a heartbreaking loss that seems exclusive to March. ASU lost only one senior in the offseason, and now they're looking to make it even farther in the tournament, proving time and time again that Arizona State is a women's basketball school. This is the third year in a row that Arizona State has made it into the NCAA tournament. The farthest they've ever made it was the Elite Eight. They made it to the Sweet 16 last year. They're looking to either match that, make it to the Elite Eight, or even possibly make it all the way. To talk more about the NCAA women's basketball bracket, we bring in women's basketball insider Bailey O'Carroll. Bailey, your initial reactions to this bracket and how it works out for ASU.
I love ASU in the Sioux Falls region. I think it really gives them the best chance for success to get deep in the tournament, hopefully an Elite Eight appearance at the very least, if not a Final Four, even going all the way, that'd be great. But I really like this region for them. You know, they aren't going to have to face a defensive mastermind school like Baylor, and they aren't going to have to face UConn, who has a 70% chance to win it all again. I don't know who's in that 30% chance that doesn't have them winning it all, but we'll see how things play out. I think the only matchup that is a little bit questionable for ASU is that South Carolina matchup. You know, they lost them earlier this season, so we'll have to see just how it plays out, but I'm not too worried about them.
All right, so you were talking about the Sioux Falls region, a very important section of this bracket, especially for ASU. We're going to send it down the street to Alex Capriello to talk more about the Sioux Falls region. The ASU women's basketball team is going to start the NCAA tournament facing off with the New Mexico State Aggies. That tips off at 4:30 p.m. Arizona time. You can catch it on ESPN2. Here at Cronkite Sports Live, we like to think of ourselves as very #new media. So let's bring in Eliav Gabai with social media.
Thanks, guys. Social media was booming this week, but since we are outside Wells Fargo Arena and talking about ASU women's basketball, let's start out with something about ASU women's basketball. Sophie Bruner tweeted out a picture of the team celebrating their #2 seed. Now, best in program history. They were excited to see Sabrina Haynes jumping out of her seat. I'm excited for them. What do you guys think?
Well, Alicia Davis, she's got the netting around her neck. Where is that from?
I don't know, because they didn't cut down the nets in Seattle. Either way, I thought it was funny. I saw a video of Alicia Davis dancing, and she was recording a video from her phone, so I personally want to see that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the next tweet comes from Pac-12 Networks. Now, it's the Meiji University baseball player standing next to ASU baseball player and pitcher Fitz Standler. He is 6'9", guys. I'm 5'8" on a good day. You got to vouch for these guys. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Eliav, I'm 5'8" and a half. The half is important, and I can totally identify with that. I mean, you see all these big athletes, and they seem surreal, and Fitz is a monster.
Yeah, I like to evaluate myself at 5'3", but when I'm in heels, I'm 5'5", so I'll just go with 5'5".
When I'm in heels, I'm 5'11".
There we go.
Well, this last tweet comes from Jedi ASU, giving our very own Zach Pocklip some grief for never eating at the Chuck Box. Apparently a really great burger place right in Tempe, right by Wells Fargo. Now, I'm a freshman. I don't know so much about the hype, but apparently they were so disappointed they hit you with the crying Michael Jordan meme. Zach, it seems like you have to do some explaining, my friend.
I went to Chuck Box after that. It was good.
Okay, I'm going to be transparent here. For Jedai's sake and yours, I also have never had Chuck Box, but I'm going to cite that I am a transfer, just like you cited that you're a freshman, Eliav, so I think I have a good excuse.
Nobody deserves to get crying Jordan memes.
I think maybe in this instance you will, but I probably will be as well.
To save myself from getting crying Jordan memed, I will go try out the Chuck Box right now, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Eliav.
Thank you, Eliav.
And that's a perfect segue into the way it is. Since we're here in Tempe outside of Wells Fargo Arena, let's stick to ASU women's basketball. The first question, the best or the most important win of the season for the Sun Devils?
I think it has to be both the wins. I know I'm cheating, but both the wins against Stanford. That's important because they're such a benchmark program, even though Stanford's taken a slight dip last year, which is not saying much. It's Stanford. But ASU has beaten them. They swept the season series, so I think that's the most important. Now I'm going to ask you, who is the most important player for ASU moving forward?
I think it's going to be Sophie Bruner in this postseason. She's really a catalyst on this team. When she does well, the rest of the team tends to do well, and she's very dominant in the post. If Sophie Bruner can do well, hopefully they will go far in the NCAA tournament. Now, something similar to the best player, the X factor in the postseason for ASU.
I gotta go with Kelsey Moose. She, along with Sophie Bruner, has been in the tournament for each year that she's been in Tempe, and she's just a winner. She has that versatility, and she's been shooting the ball well from deep, so I think she's gonna be critical to provide some matchup problems moving forward. Now, while she might be, up and down in some games, somebody that's consistent always is Charlie Turner-Thorne. Where does she rank in the Pac-12?
I say this year she ranks #1 among the coaches, obviously bringing this program to new heights. But overall, it's got to be Tara Vanderveer. She has really created a legacy down at Stanford, and the Cardinal has been dominant in women's basketball since she's been there. Now, the next question, how far does ASU make it in this NCAA tournament?
I'm not going to put too much thought into this. I'm just going to say the Elite Eight. You can make fun of me later if I'm wrong, or you can praise me. Also, that's an option. I'm going to ask you now, who's going to win the whole thing?
All right, I think we have the same answer on this, so I'm going to count us down.
School.
3, 2, 1. It's
UConn.
UConn.
Shout out to Gino.
All right, so now our producers are going to decide who wins the way it is in a kind of unconventional way. I'm a little nervous about this. Are you ready? Okay.
Oh, God. I win again.
There you go. You win again.
Shocker. Complete shocker.
I'm just so impressed by that top play by Jordan Aboitis. That grab, that wingspan.
And he's a shorter fella, so his range isn't great, but clearly, that was just great athleticism.
It was just
Surprising.
insane.
Shout out to Jordan Aboitis.
Now, don't forget, ASU women's basketball will be playing New Mexico State at 4:30 p.m. You can catch it on ESPN2. That's it from us in Tempe. For Zach Pockleb, I'm Elaine Wilson.